bit.co, bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. Gary Franchi sitting in for Joyce Riley. Riding shotgun today in studio with me is Josh, man. What's up?
Good morning. Crazy world.
Always is. Butterflies and unicorns and rainbows. So before we went to break, we were just getting into this story about college students being forced to take feminist re-education courses. This is, I guess it was posted at bodybuilding.com, a forum about this student who said, hey, you know, this group, We End Violence, says its mission is based on 50 years of feminist anti-violence work and is designed to challenge men and masculinity. I don't know why. I mean, why, if we're all supposed to be embracing all this diversity in the differences that we all have, men and women are chemically and physically different.
Absolutely.
I mean, scientifically. And it has nothing to do with, you know, a bias or an agenda. That's just how we're made up. You know, men have testosterone. They have more testosterone than women. That creates a different response in the world. You know, it's all based on hormones, and I mean, come on, you can't challenge what is designed.
Right. But what you can do is make men walk around in red high heels, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was an event. All right, U.S. Army cadets were ordered to walk a mile in heels. This comes from Sputnik News. You guys check the story out because you're going to see guys in camo, in their fatigues, walking around in red high heels. An event where male identifying individuals, what does that mean, strapped on high heels to raise awareness about rape, sexual assault, and gender-based violence was held on Monday at Arizona State University. Few would deny the event's good intentions, but some are not too pleased by the ROTC's alleged mandatory involvement. So they made these guys walk around in high heels. Just unbelievable. Didn't have a choice.
Boots were made for walking.
Right.
In fact, that's what they'll do, right?
No wonder morale is, so far down. You're forcing these guys. I wouldn't want to walk around in high heels. I mean, I'm sure there may be some guys out there that would, and that's fine if you want to do that. But to force someone to do something like this is just, it's not okay to me.
Yeah. I'm speechless, really. But what's the purpose of it, though? What's their agenda? What are they trying to accomplish? Like, is it supposed to help people be sympathetic for women in high heels?
Is that not all women wear high heels? Is there not a better way to go about that?
You know what? You make a good point. Not all women wear high heels, folks. Now they're stereotyping. They're stereotyping women.
Yeah.
Time for someone to take a re-education class on feminism. Oh my God.
Well, apparently if you want to go to college, you're going to have to do that. So.
Mm-hmm. What else is happening in the world here? Ben Swan reporting. Without warrant, cops blocked cannabis oil activist Shona Banda from entering her own home. Cannabis oil activist and Crohn's disease survivor Shona Banda captured video of the moment that she arrived at her home to find police officers and bureaucrats from the Kansas Department for Children and Families searching through her front and backyard. Officers on the scene at the time, they didn't have a warrant. They denied her the right to enter her own home, despite the fact that a child in her care needed diabetes medication that was located inside the home.
Wow. That is unbelievable. No warrant. Just, you can't go in your home because we're here. Yeah. And we have big, scary guns. So
we have big, scary guns and SWAT patches. We'll be right back. We got some information about the DEA chief. You're listening to the Power Hour. I'm Gary.
This is Josh.
We'll be right back.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Another Baltimore probe. Free trade concerns. Wall Street edgy. I'm Dirk Van. The Justice Department launching the latest probe into the death of Freddie Gray, the young black man who died of a severe spinal injury while in police custody in Baltimore. Attorney for the Gray family, William Murphy.
We'll conduct our own. The federal government will conduct its own. Marilyn Mosby, the state's attorney, will conduct her own. And we will be watchful as to all of those developments.
Growing concern over the latest free trade agreement. Critics of the pending Trans-Pacific Partnership say it will cost U.S. jobs. The White House says not so.
This is a trade agreement that does have strong labor enforcement mechanism, that does have strong environmental standards. It's the most progressive trade agreement that we've ever worked on.
Communications Director Jen Psaki. Wall Street trending lower ahead of key earnings reports. And want to live longer? No sweat, according to a new study that says more time in the sauna or steam room could lower your risk of premature death. I'm Dirk Van.
Time. It's best found on the weekends and lost in the garage, under the hood, cranking on something, doing what you love. At AdvanceAutoParts.com, you can get back to the garage even faster when you buy online and pick up in store just 30 minutes later. And right now, save up to $50 by mail when you buy professional quality move, steering, and suspension products. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Mail-in rebate void where prohibited. See AdvanceAutoParts.com for details.
Oh no, my battery's running out.
Mine too. Guess I've only got about 24 hours of standby talk and text.
What? My phone's gonna eat it any minute now.
It's my new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. I tossed this baby into ultra power save mode and boom, it's got another day of life.
Well, can we plug in someplace?
Fine, but let's not stay long. My phone's fast charging restores 50% power in about 30 minutes, and I've got places to be.
Like where?
Joey just texted us. Didn't you see? Oh, yeah.
Visit Samsung.com/GS6 for more information.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies turning mostly sunny with a high near 70. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 53. Thursday, a chance of showers, cloudy skies, becoming mostly sunny with a high near 68. Thursday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy skies, a low near 54. Friday, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a high near 66. Friday night, a chance of showers, mostly cloudy, a low near 50. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 69. Saturday night, patchy fog, mostly cloudy, a low near 52. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050 KCAA.
A roommate eats an emergency preparedness kit. It's the Onion Radio News. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Area man Carl Dixon wanted to be prepared in the event of a terrorist attack or national disaster. So he made an emergency preparedness kit fully supplied with canned meat, soda crackers, and a sealed bottle of drinking water. But late last night, Dixon returned home to find his roommate eating the entire kit while watching TV.
I couldn't believe it. He just cracked open the cans and he was just eating away.
Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
In AgNet West today, conservation compliance connections with crop insurance. Get the story next.
Grape growers, what are the 3 most important things to control powdery mildew? Location, location, rotation. By location, location, I mean that powdery mildew can be about everywhere on a grapevine. Leaves, fruit, stems, and hiding in every nook, cranny, and hard-to-reach area. That's where Quintec fungicide from Dow AgroSciences can help. Quintec keeps moving around leaf and berry tissues long after application, forming a protective barrier as it moves in a vapor phase. You get up to 21 days of superior protection, even under high pressure. By rotation, I mean that Quintec is in a class of chemistry all by itself. The quinolines. No other fungicide can say that. And that makes Quintec an excellent rotation partner with fungicides from other classes. Why, if you're not rotating with Quintec, you might not really be rotating at all. To control powdery mildew, remember, location, location, rotation. To learn more about Quintec, contact your pest control advisor. Always read and follow label directions.
Producers have until June 1st to file a conservation compliance form that makes them eligible for crop insurance premium support. Farm Service Agency Administrator Val Dolcini explains conservation compliance certification, now linked again to crop insurance premium support, made possible through the 2014 Farm Bill.
They were some time ago, and then they were delinked, and in this last Farm Bill, the 2 topics were linked together again, which means that to be eligible for a federal crop insurance subsidy from the Risk Management Agency, you have to be in compliance with the conservation regulations of the department. And it's a relatively simple process. Many producers already have an active AD 1026 on file with their local FSA office, but for those that don't, I would encourage them to reach out and call their local FSA office, set up an appointment, and come in by the 1st of June and complete that AD 1026 form.
Again, that deadline is June 1st. I'm Sabrina Hill for AgnetWest.com.
CNBC Headline News is brought to you exclusively by West Coast Auto, located at 5180 Holt Boulevard in Montclair, where you'll find the widest selection of the most pristine used automobiles in Southern California.
West Coast Auto of Montclair is the 2015 top-rated pre-owned dealer in California, offering a service department that surpasses expectations in every single way. And while you're there, browse West Coast Auto's extensive lot of best-in-class pre-owned vehicles.
You're getting the best-in-class vehicles with financing options like 0% down and no payments for 90 days. Visit westcoastauto.com or call 9099-million.
West Coast Auto Montclair.
If you're facing criminal charges, your entire future is at stake. You need to act now to protect your freedom, your job, your family. The criminal defense attorneys at Wallach & Cleric can help you. They've been successfully defending those facing criminal charges for over 30 years. You can place your trust in Wallach & Cleric. Call today at 877-4NO-JAIL and tell them KCAA sent you. That's 877-466-5245. The call is free. Will you be?
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are on the Brink here on KCAA AM 1050. It is Wednesday.
It is Earth Day Wednesday.
It is Earth Day, and you're looking very earthy today.
Can you see me?
Yes. Well, I don't know. You're wearing camouflage. It's kind of hard to see you.
I'm blending
because
in.
we're broadcasting from the jungle.
Ooh, we should do that someday. We should have a jungle broadcast.
No.
Or maybe we should go to that. What's that restaurant where they have like the jungle theme and we can, the one over there at the Ontario Mills?
Is that one still there?
I don't know.
Rainforest Cafe?
Rainforest Cafe. We should go.
I don't know. It's probably been a decade since we were there. I don't even know that it's still there.
And I can wear camo and paint my face and hide in the bushes and jump out at you every so often in the show.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't mind that. I'm sure that would not be a problem.
I'm just saying it'd be fun.
Yeah, if you're 8.
You're right. I'm only 13, so a little old for that one.
Oh, my gosh. So I got to say good morning to Cool Breeze Carlos Gonzalez in the booth. How you doing, Carlos?
I'm doing all right.
Alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic?
Sure, we'll go with that one.
So for our listeners who don't know, Carlos is a superstar. He works a ton of hours here at the station, and he's also going to school. So, he's pretty awesome.
Yes, he is.
So, all right. Before we really get started, as I always do, I want to let everybody know all the ways they can listen to the station. Not only all the shows on the station, not only this one. You can find us at 1050 on the AM dial in the Inland Empire. You can find us at kcaaradio.com, where you'll find links to all of our social media, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You'll find all the information on the other ways to listen to us, which include calling in to listen. So say you've got a flip phone or a home phone, you can call 832-999-1050. That's 832-999-1050. You can listen to us just through the website. You can watch our Ustream feed on the website or click through.
Star.
Yeah, okay. Or click through and just watch us on Ustream. You can, if you're heading into LA or OC and you want to listen to us all the way in, we have a strong signal in the Inland Empire. It starts to get fuzzy along the edges of the county borders. You can use the TuneIn app on your iPhone. Search for KCAA Radio once you have it downloaded and installed, and it's free, so it's really easy. Search for KCAA Radio, and you can listen to all of our live shows 24/7, and all of our local shows you can also listen to on podcast. You can do the same on your Android device at kcaaexpress.com. We have a great Earth Day show planned for you today. Up first, we'll be talking to Mary Petit and Eleanor Torres from the Incredible Edible Community Garden. They're doing some great work here in the Inland Empire, and later on in the show, we'll talk with Chef Lee Burton about slow foods in Redlands. They've got an event coming up and they want to talk about.
So, I actually have had an opportunity in the past to work with Eleanor and Mary. They helped put in the garden over at Nicholson Park, and I went over and helped one day. And I have to tell you, the work that these ladies do is phenomenal. They put in a gorgeous fruit garden, and the whole bunch of other stuff's going in over there.
Well, they are ready. Let's bring
awesome.
them on. So, Mary and Eleanor, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
We're thrilled to have you on. So tell us about what you all are up to.
Well, we're up to so much stuff, but the most important thing right now is on this Saturday, we're going to be having an Earth Day event at the Nicholson Park Community Center from 11 to 3. And we're going to have a whole bunch of good things going on, like Aztec dancers, a barbecue, community potluck.
How cool.
Yeah, and we're live music with U.S. veteran Jen Householder and her house band. They were actually at our November gratitude celebration there, and everyone loved them. Master gardeners, Earth Day crafts, hayrides. Our friends, our veteran friends from up Apple Valley. They're bringing down here a 5-ton military troop transport vehicle. We're going to give hayrides to the kids around the neighborhood. And a big shout out to Leilani Rankin Palmer. She's the ED in the face of Youthfield and Inland Empire. Did you know we're proud to partner with them and a host of other outstanding partners who are going to be reopening the community center?
Wow, that's great. That's great. So do you have to RSVP? Do you just show up? How do you get involved?
Well, it would be helpful if they would RSVP. They can call 909-499-9733. We'd like to know what dish they're going to bring, but, it's an opportunity for all of us to get together and have great fun and celebrate Earth Day.
So this is a big community potluck.
Yes, we've done one once before, and it was such a great success, and it was so heartening to see everybody from the community come out.
It's a great neighborhood over there by Nicholson Park, and I love what you guys are doing. I particularly love, and I hope you can talk a little bit about, you mentioned these military veterans that are involved. I know you guys have some special programs and you work with them. Can you explain that involvement and how that program works?
Sure. Okay. Well, about a year ago, we started an organization. Actually, now it's a lot longer. Time flies when you're having fun. We started an organization called Serving Proud Industries, which was an opportunity to work with veterans, partner with veterans, to use their nation-building skills and channel them towards community building. As a result, we've done a few projects with them, including the fruit orchard, or the community fruit orchard that we have at Nicholson, as as well as a wonderful exhibit at the San Bernardino County Museum, which is an aquaponics exhibit and has been touted as the future of agriculture. But the vets actually maintain that aquaponics system. It was actually designed and built with a pro bono architect, and we went from February of last year to June to actually building it and installing the system. Maybe Mary could talk a little bit about it.
That demonstration garden was funded by a grant that we received from the USDA Forest Service, and the 3 veterans that we have actually been able to hire on a part-time basis are the docents there. So it's a permanent live exhibit. And what I mentioned before about that, our veterans friends from Apple Valley, we're doing our second aquaponics garden. It's up at the Orenda Foundation house, which is a clean and sober recovery facility run by Kelly Maxwell, CEO of the Orenda Foundation. Absolutely a marvelous individual and his staff there. And this particular aquaponics garden is funded by CalVet, a grant that Department of Veterans Affairs received, and they have commissioned us to work with the guys up there to put this together. So we're in the middle of doing that right now.
That is outstanding. Wow. So talk about the benefits of getting your hands dirty. I mean, I hear that one of the challenges in our modern culture is that people are so separated from the earth. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Aaron, and what a better day to talk about it than on Earth Day, which is today. And also, did you know that 2015 has been designated the International Year of the Soil?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
UN General Assembly actually designated this year as that, and it's to celebrate the soil, and since it's a foundation for food security, it helps supply clean water, and it has multiple positive impacts on ecosystems, just to name a few. But what you're talking about has actually been developed now into a program called horticultural therapy. What's interesting is, post-World War I, post-World War II, there were the Victory Gardens. And, the generations past have such a keen awareness of the benefits of gardening and soil to everyone's well-being. And as technologies progress, especially in the healthcare industry, did you know that there are chemical components identified in the soil that actually have the same chemical structure as Prozac and other antipsychotics and antidepressants without the side effects?
Are you serious?
Yep, that's why we gardeners are just always happy.
Well, God, you know what? That's so true. Like, Kathy Mallon is probably one of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. She is always out there getting her hands dirty. I just think that's fantastic, and you all are too.
Well, we appreciate that. And another benefit to consider are the trees. Their ability to sequester carbon, for instance, particularly in a community like ours, which has so much of a logistics industry. That's going to be really important in the future. But trees also provide a wonderful way to manage stormwater runoff, cool heat islands. Heat islands can give you a differential of 30 degrees hotter than anything else anywhere around that has green infrastructure. There's a lot of reasons why trees are important and gardens are important. I think one of the most important things that we do, though, is how many people we feed in that process, which is a really big issue, as you know, in a county where the average is 95% for young people who qualify for reduced or free lunch programs.
So we have to take a quick break. Can you hold on with this while we take a break and come back in a couple minutes?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. This is Erin Brinker.
This is Tobin Brinker.
And we are talking to Mary Petit and Eleanor Torres from the incredible Edible Community Gardens. We're on KCAA AM 1050, and we will be right back.
Whenever a corporation issues a statement declaring that it is committed to, quote, treating consumers fairly and with respect, chances are it's not. After all, if the outfit was actually doing it, there would be no need for a statement. Indeed, this particular claim came from Encore Capital, one of our country's largest buyers of bad consumer debt. And it definitely has not been playing nice with the people it browbeats to collect overdue credit card bills, car loans, etc. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman found that Encore, based in San Diego, filed nearly 240,000 lawsuits against debtors in a recent 4-year period, using our courts as its private collection arm. Problem is, Encore's bulk filing of lawsuits are rife with errors, out-of-date payment data, fabricated credit card statements, etc. Tons of them are missing original loan documents, payment histories, and other proof of debt. Debt predators, however, scoot around this lack of facts by simply having their employees sign affidavits asserting that the level of money owed is accurate. Judges, overwhelmed by the unending flood of lawsuits filed by Encore et al., have accepted those affidavits as true, thus ruling in favor of the corporations. But Schneiderman found that, surprise, affidavits were simply being rubber-stamped by company employees who didn't have time to check for accuracy. An employee of one large debt buyer testified that he was having to sign about 2,000 affidavits a day. This is Jim Hightower saying, this is no minor scam. 1 in 7 adults in the U.S. is under pursuit by debt collectors. It's hard enough for struggling families to claw their way out from under the economic crash without having lying, cheating, predator corporations twist the court system to pick their pockets and shut off their hope of recovery.
The founder of a world-renowned symphony made up of children.
The Inland Empire's most heroic teacher.
The world-famous mixed martial arts hero, Baptiste Mansour.
The lady who's saving homeless kids in Redlands.
The Inland Empire has thousands of community, business, and kid heroes. Each week, we share their stories with you. Join us for My Awesome Empire and find out why the Inland Empire is so great.
Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. on AM 1050 and KCAAradio.com.
We are ambitious. We are proud of our work. We are Kubota. With Kubota's economical MX 4800 and MX 5200 utility ag tractors, we simply get more done. Full of big features, Kubota MX Series tractors are packed with up to 54.7 horsepower Kubota diesel engines, powerful transmission options, and more. Test drive one today during the More Power to You sales event. Fueling your ambition. We are Kubota.
If you are facing criminal charges, your entire future is at stake. You need to act now to protect your job, your family, and your freedom. Call Wallen & Claridge at 877-4-NO-JAIL. Wallen & Claridge has over 30 years of experience in fighting for our clients' rights. With local offices in Riverside and San Bernardino, we are here to help you now. Call 877-4-NO-JAIL or go to WKLaw.com. How much is your freedom worth? Call 877-466-5245. The call is free. Will you be?
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink here on KCAA AM 1050. We're talking with Eleanor Torres and Mary Petit of the incredible edible community garden here on this Earth Day. And welcome back, ladies.
Oh, thank you.
And so I have a question about, you know, some people live in apartments, or maybe they live in a mobile home or something where there's not a lot of land that they have access to. Can you provide coaching? Do you all, teach people how to grow their own food? Because that's empowering.
Well, we do. We haven't been doing a whole lot in terms of individual residential areas because that gets to be absolutely huge, especially for our organization. We hope to get into that in the future, especially with our veteran group that is getting bigger and bigger, each year. But we are very happy to answer questions on our Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook, Incredible Edible Community Garden. There's a lot of people that will do that and just ask their personal questions. We do have our individual emails that are on our cards. It's all over the county. You can certainly email us, and we do afford the courtesy of those answers. But we try and provide non-contiguous spaces in strategic areas within our county, especially in the underserved areas where community gardens or fruit parks can be established. And, been successful in getting grant funding and support from the cities and the local communities and the community at large to do that. And it's really during a lot of those activities, and sometimes just coming out to our events, we'll have educational programs for them. We plan on doing one of the programs we'll be offering when we reopen the gardening can come there, and we'll be offering training programs and educational programs on care and maintenance of trees.
But also going back to your question, Aaron, we do have a urban tree distribution program.
Oh.
And one of our big projects was distribution at housing, for instance, multifamily housing, people who live in apartments and have a balcony, for instance. So we were able to distribute dwarf citrus trees, which I have not seen any organization like ours do before, where we're actually targeting, the apartments and all. And much of our work is geared towards urban environments. There aren't any organizations, a lot of them, that really emphasize growing in an urban environment and what that might look. So you have things like high-density planting, or, there's a lot of things that we do specialized, like aquaponics, for instance, which is also an urban way of growing. But the ability to go to places, our thing is we want to serve the communities that are the most marginalized. And certainly when it comes to urban forestry and community gardens, that happens way too much in housing, in multifamily housing. We also have a community garden at the Vista del Cielo housing complex in the city of Montclair. And that's been extremely successful. And Mary can tell you a little bit more about what we do there at Vista del Cielo.
That urban housing complex and the city of Montclair have gotten together and have offered an after-school youth program. And part of that is one day a week for a couple hours. We will go over there and gather with the youth. There are about maybe 40 to 60 children, and talk a little bit about gardening. And we actually have set up an after-school youth garden program. So they are growing, they're harvesting during the time that it's open, usually between October and May. That program is open for the after-school kids.
Oh, my gosh, that's outstanding. I bet they love it.
They do. And many times, as part of our fruit gleaning program, too, we'll bring some extra fruit that we've gleaned, especially when the citrus is in season. And I tell you, these kids, they just cannot wait to get that fruit, start eating it, bring some home. And it just tells you, what is happening to our children in the food desert communities. And we have so many food desert communities where the only time you can get fresh produce is to actually drive a few miles outside of the communities. And many of the families just don't have the means with which to get outside of their communities to get there.
So I think I know the answer to this one, but is it true that food tastes better when you grow it yourself?
Oh, have you tried it, Tobin? Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm just imagining as you're talking about these kids eating these the fruit that they've grown.
Oh, I have two small grandsons, and let me tell you, to get sometimes to get them to eat green vegetables is tough. And my grandson keeps asking, when are we growing sugar snap peas? He loves the peas.
Oh.
And that's a cool season vegetable, and I grow that in my garden. When we go and take that, he pulls the pods right off the vine. We sit down on the mulch, open them, and we just eat the sweet peas out of them. And we eat those all day long. Put it in front of him in the house, forget it. He's got to grow it, he's got to pick it, and he's got to eat it in the garden.
I love just the name of your organization, the Incredible Edible Community Garden, because, so many times we think of gardens, we think of just having flowers and something pretty.
Grass
or whatever. But the fact that you guys are so focused on making sure that it's stuff that's food that we can actually use, and then taking the time to teach people how to do that, it's been amazing. I was starting the segment today by saying, I had an opportunity to come out and join you guys out there at Nicholson Park, and I was just sort of blown away at what you were able to accomplish, and it seemed that it just went so quickly. It just, when you really know what you're doing, and you've got the resources, it just, wow. You guys put in a great asset there, and a lot of folks came out to help, and I'm excited. I can't wait for the fruit.
I know, and you ought to see the trees now. I hope you come out and join us on Saturday and take a look. But you talked about our resources, and I have to tell you, our resources are the community. And no better person than Eleanor, who is the consummate community engagement person, to actually talk a little bit about the community.
That really is the core, the foundation of our organization. As you may or may not know, we are a volunteer-driven organization.
Yep.
Mary and and I actually don't take any compensation for what we do because we want to model the quality of volunteers we want to see in our program. And as a result, we have a wonderful arc of volunteers, and we're about 300 right now. But we have a wonderful arc in which, we have these high-end professionals as well as policy stakeholders as well as the residents. And what we try to do in each of our communities is honor the communities that we work in. We ask permission to be in there, and if this is a program that the community wants, that's with every project that we do. As a result, the community also gets to help us design, name, and select the things they want to grow. And we have an architectural firm that actually provides the architectural boards for that. We have some wonderful people working with our graphics. We have, scientists that work with us as well. We are so fortunate.
That is awesome. We have to give a shout out though to Charlie Jacobs, who really was the driving force behind the Nicholson Garden. I mean, you mentioned community support. I've known Charlie for years, and this was her dream going back easily a decade. And advocating to anyone who would listen the need for a community garden at Nicholson Park. I worked out there one summer volunteering, and she went and we bought flowers and did planters around the thing with the kids around the building, and just any chance she could get to get her hands in the dirt and get kids out there. And she just had this vision and just kept pushing. And so it's folks like that. I mean, people don't realize that park, that community garden really came from the community. I mean, you guys are the ones who get to come in and help to guide it all because you're the professionals. But it's like you said, it's the people that really make this thing go.
Oh, you're so right. And Charlie is one amazing and persistent individual because she did a cold call to us about 2 years ago when a friend of hers picked up a card that we had at an event we were part of in Muscoy, and she called. And when I listened to her on the phone and said, "Well, how long? You have this following of people that are still meeting." I said, "How long have you been, looking for a partner for this?" And she said it was over 10 years. I said,
Yep.
Over 10 years, I got to meet you, lady. This was crazy.
She didn't give up.
No, and it actually happened. I mean, but Nicholson is kind of a dream project in a lot of ways because a lot of things came together to make that happen. The city of San Bernardino was extremely helpful and tolerant. But the other group I want to share is the homeless who actually live in the park.
Yeah.
And they have we've been able to work with them, and they absolutely adore us. They actually take the responsibility to make sure everything is well at the garden or the community fruit park. They have our phone numbers, and they'll call and say, "Is this okay?" or "Is this supposed to be happening?" It's always a wonderful thing when we show up with the incredible edible community garden truck, and they come and greet us and help us unload the truck or load. We just have a wonderful community at Nicholson.
I'm glad you mentioned the homeless. I know we've got to wrap up here real quick, but a lot of times people have very negative opinion of homeless people, and a lot of times these are folks that are just down on their luck. And it's like you said, when we were out there planting those trees, they came right over, volunteered, and they wanted to be a part of this. They see the value in the human connection as well as the fruit that's going to be born from those trees. It's amazing.
And we are completely out of time. So just give people the information about Saturday's event one more time.
Okay, we're having our Earth Day event starting at 11 a.m. It'll go to 3 p.m. We're going to have a barbecue, bring a potluck dish, and And my number, if you have any questions, is 909-499-9733. I look forward to seeing you all this weekend.
And that's at Nicholson Park, which is on the corner of 2nd Street and Meridian in San Bernardino.
Yeah, 2715.
2750, West 2nd, and the parking lot is on 2nd, which connects Meridian and Pepper.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and for all of the absolutely incredible work that you do. I hope that you join us again. We just love to hear about what you're doing.
We look forward to it, Erin. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you so much. We've been talking to Mary Petit and Eleanor Torres from the incredible Edible Community Garden about their fantastic event on Saturday and all the wonderful things that they're doing. We have to take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink. We're the morning show here on KCAA AM 1050, and we'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Anthony Lazowitz, and this is Climate Connections. Seeing big financial opportunities and an urgent need, many investors are now funding projects that combat climate change or promote environmental sustainability. Many are buying green bonds, which provide financing for clean energy and transportation, high-efficiency buildings, and other carbon-cutting projects by governments, utilities, and companies. In 2012, $3 billion in green bonds were sold. Just 2 years later, the market had grown to $36 billion. But even this dramatic growth is tiny compared to what's coming, according to Sean Kidney of the Climate Bonds Initiative.
At the UN Climate Summit in September, we had $24 trillion worth of investors who were saying climate was incredibly important, and they stood ready to invest. And then we had another bunch of investors from the insurance industry, $19 trillion represented there, who said they were going to multiply their climate investments tenfold by 2020. I mean, that's amazing.
Kidney says that booming investor interest in green bonds is promising, but given the limited time left to avoid the most serious impacts of global warming, we must work quickly to convert these dollars into deliverables. Climate Connections is produced by the Yale Center for Environmental Communication. Learn more at yaleclimateconnections.org.
Hey, this is Steve Sanchez, and do you know in 2007, I went off to the doctor for a basic checkup, and he informed me, Steve, you got plaque built up around your heart, and you're going to need stents. I informed him, with no offense, doc, I need a second opinion. I go off to a naturopathic doctor, and he introduces me to something called Zango. It's a juice made of the whole mangosteen fruit. You know, the mangosteen fruit has been used for centuries for healing. So, hey, what do I have to lose? I tried it. 3 months later, I go back to my cardiologist, no plaque, no stents, and I'm proud to say 7.5 years later, I'm stent-free. I want to turn you on to Zango because it's the only true 100% mangosteen fruit juice. It's patented. In fact, the Mayo Clinic is paying attention because they're doing an extensive study because they cannot ignore all the testimonials around the world. I want to give you a free sample of the Zango juice today. Simply call 888-309-5656. That's 888-309-5656 for your free mangosteen juice sample today from the company called Zango.
If you're facing criminal charges, your entire future is at stake. You need to act now to protect your freedom, your job, your family. The criminal defense attorneys at Wallach & Cleric can help you. They've been successfully defending those facing criminal charges for over 30 years. You can place your trust in Wallach & Cleric. Call today at 877-4NO-JAIL and tell them KCAA sent you. That's 877-466-5245. The call is free. Will you be?
Like to spend a few days in another world? Then write this down. Golden Bear Cottages, Big Bear Lake. Now, listen, this is not some corporate-owned operation. It's family-owned and operated by some real nice people. Unique? Oh, you bet. Golden Bear Cottages features 28 one-of-a-kind cabins on a 5-acre historic site. Great for families, couples, and groups. And cabins are available with 1 to 7 bedrooms. Golden Bear Cottages is just a stone's throw from Big Bear Lake and super close to 3 great ski areas. Now, I could go on all day about Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear, but to see everything, just go to goldenbear.net. Again, goldenbear.net. Golden Bear Cottages in Big Bear. Clean, comfortable, and affordable. Check them out. goldenbear.net.
KCAA invites you to listen to professional money manager Bill Gunderson every weekday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Bill Gunderson is a highly respected money manager. He's a regular contributor to MarketWatch, TheStreet.com, and Town Hall Finance. Gunderson has appeared many times on the Fox News Channel, the Fox Business Network, and CNBC. You can hear Bill Gunderson's daily insight into the market at 7 a.m. weekdays right here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And it is Earth Day. We're celebrating Earth Day here on the Brink Morning Show on KCAA AM 1050.
It is Earth Day.
Are you feeling earthy?
I am. I want to get my hands in the dirt today.
I know, right? Well, we've got another great guest on the line, a great friend of this show and the show when we were in the 9 o'clock hour. This is Chef Lee Burton. He's with a lot of organizations. He's a mega volunteer, but today he's calling us about Slow Foods Redlands. Welcome to the show, Lee.
And Lee, before you get started, I have to chastise my wife here. Lee should always be an in-studio guest, and he should always have food. Because I love Lee's cooking. So Lee, why didn't we do that? I want to know.
I was kind and said he could call in.
I have some oranges for you, Tobin.
Okay. Next time I see you.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Great program. I've really enjoyed hearing from Eleanor and Mary. I've got to meet them.
They're great ladies.
They are great ladies. They are really doing great work. So tell us about Slow Foods. Tell us first of all about the movement for Slow Foods, how it, and how it started in Redlands.
Yes, great. Okay, we're a newer chapter of an international and national organization, a not-for-profit. Slow Food is basically about accessible, clean, fair food for everyone. We believe, and I say we as an organization, and also as a chef, I believe in these principles as well. We believe that our daily choices of what we put on our plate determine the future of the environment, the economy, and our society. And sort of a way to kind of give you a better idea about what Slow Food is about is if you care about local farmers, those who grow our food, ranchers, fishers, animal welfare, the joy of a shared meal, preserving food cultures, protecting the environment, or avoiding GMOs, we have a place for you at the Slow Food table. And those are kind of the guiding principles of the organization.
Wow, that's quite a mission.
And it's a great thing. It started in Italy many years ago when a McDonald's opened in Italy. This was the reaction of the culture there to preserve the local food culture. We believe that food should be tasty, seasonal, local, fresh, and wholesome, and should be accessible by everyone. As your earlier guest pointed out, there's food deserts in our areas, a lot of food deserts, and a lot of people don't have access to good, clean, fair food. And that's something that's very important to us as an organization.
So how would you describe or define a food desert for our listeners?
Well, I had a friend that did the project at ESRI, the mapping company here in Redlands, and shared some of that data with me. And a lot of it revolves around the access to the food. And then if you overlay, if you envision a map, and that's where the expression came from some of the studies that ESRI did in Redlands, the access to the food, to fresh food, and then if you overlay what they call an overlay of points of where fast food locations are and where liquor stores are and where there's no grocery stores and much less a farmer's market. And with the movement that's happening in San Bernardino is very exciting to hear about because people are changing that because they are growing their own food and giving people the access to it. Of course, accessibility is also limited by if you have transportation or if you have to carry a bunch of bags on a bus and transport it by hand and walking on foot, that makes access more difficult as well.
Yeah.
And those are all variables that basically make up the geography of what we call a food desert.
So you have an event coming up this weekend as well. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, very excited about it. Sunday, May 3rd, we have our first inaugural, what we call our Spring Harvest Festival. It's free to attend. It is family friendly. We would love for you to bring kids if there's a kid in your life or in your family to bring. And this will be about education, demonstrations, and basically everything that the slow food lifestyle is about. And we will have cooking demonstrations, both hands-on and theater style, where you can learn how to prepare real food. We're going to have someone just a home cook who's showing how to make cheese ricotta cheese from scratch.
Cool.
Things like that. We're going to have nutritional demos. We're going to have where you can actually put your hands in the dirt, which we just were speaking about with your other guests, and where you can learn how to plant and grow your own food. There'll be music, prize drawing. We'll have a lot of vendors, both real, what I call real food purveyors, which are some of the local farms selling produce that you can buy, or you can buy prepared foods that are cooked in sort of a slow food framework using local sustainable ingredients. We have restaurants such as Lavolata, the new pizza place in Redlands, is doing farm-to-table pizzas. Brew Cakes is one of our sponsors. Clark's Nutrition will be there. San Bernardino Master Gardeners will be doing some demonstrations. There's some kid-friendly demonstrations. So it's a wide array of different participants. Even the city of Redlands is involved, and they're going to talk about their new community garden program that they have at the senior centers. So it's a wide array of different things. It's free to attend. We will have, I believe, all the three large brewers in Redlands represented as well. We should have a beer and wine garden set up as well. And a cooking contest, which I really want to encourage people to participate in. A baking contest. Yes, cooking.
Now, are they going to compete against you?
No.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not cooking anything. That's the way I like it. So we'll have a kids cookie contest, and for people of all ages, they can enter a pie contest. So you bring your pie with the recipe or your cookies by 4 p.m. to the judges' table. We'll taste it, and we'll announce the winner.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay.
How do you get a job as a taster?
I have a place for you, Aaron. Yes, we probably do need a few more volunteers as well. What we're really needing as an organization is, as your guests were saying earlier, it really takes people to make it go. I think you even said that, Tobin, and I agree with that. We need some volunteers to help with some of the social media and website design we're trying to get up. So there's a place for volunteers of all different capacities if you're interested, and just come to the event and we'll plug you right in. But there's a place for everyone.
So this is part of an international organization and an international movement to get people to connect with the food and where it's coming from. The food they eat is coming from. Have you had discussions about the effects of the drought in the area and what kinds of plants you should be planting? And is there going to be information about that at the event?
I believe we will have a demonstration. One of our planting demonstrations will be, I believe, on drought-tolerant plants. Actually, I just did a cooking class on Native American drought-tolerant plants, which was very interesting for the Conservancy a few weeks ago. I was cooking yucca flowers and the pallies and all kinds of things. So that is of interest to us. I believe we do have a presenter that will do a presentation about that, and that is something that we want to cover as well.
So we have to take a quick break. Will you stay on with this while we take a break?
I would love to, yes.
Wonderful. I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are talking with Chef Lee Burton about Slow Foods Redlands and the event that they're having on this coming Sunday. We will be right back here on KCAA AM 1050.
We are producers. We are crafters of quality hay and forage. There's an art to harvesting the best hay and forage, and it starts with the right equipment. From dependable disc mowers and mower conditioners to efficient rakes and tedders, round balers and bale wrappers, Kubota has engineered a full line of field-proven hay tools you can trust to perform season after season. Visit your local Kubota dealer today during the More Power to You sales event for low-rate, long-term financing. For all your hay tool needs, we are Kubota.
How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt completely forgiven, both the principal and interest? National Credit Card Relief wants to give you free information that shows you how. Thousands of people have used this program to have their credit card debt forgiven. So call now for free information and consultation. We'll give you the secret to this money-saving program absolutely free. Get eye-opening information that could save you thousands of dollars a year or a month, depending on how much you owe. In fact, the more you owe, the more you can save. All you need is $10,000 or more in credit debt, medical bills, or department store debt to qualify. Call for free debt forgiveness information now at 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909 to discover the secret to having your credit card debt forgiven. Call 800-546-2909. 800-546-2909. Don't wait. Call now. 800-546-2909.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that there is no one path right for everyone. I've learned that without my high school diploma, I can only do so much. My options were limited. I found a free personalized learning program with Learn for Life that has a flexible schedule so I could keep my job while earning my high school diploma. I found new career training opportunities that would jumpstart my future. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
If you are facing criminal charges, your entire future is at stake. You need to act now to protect your job, your family, and your freedom. Call Wallen and Claridge at 877-4NO-JAIL. Wallen and Claridge has over 30 years of experience in fighting for our clients' rights. With local offices in Riverside and San Bernardino, we are here to help you now. Call 877-4NO-JAIL. Or go to WKLaw.com. How much is your freedom worth? Call 877-466-5245. The call is free. Will you be?
Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink here on KCAA AM 1050. It is Earth Day, and it's all about the earth today. So we continue our conversation with Chef Lee Burton from Slow Foods in Redlands. Talk a little bit about biodiversity and kind of what's happening to what we eat, what we grow, and how we live.
Yes, I'm glad you asked that, Erin. This is a critical point for us, and this is one of the big roles of the organization to not only spread awareness about the situation, but also what we can do together to change this. More than 90% of crop varieties have disappeared from farmers' fields, and half of those breeds of many domestic animals have been lost. Just 3 companies process 70% of all of the beef we consume. It's processed by just 3 companies here in the U.S.
Wow.
So, those kinds of things really change the way, not only the quality of the food we have, but the nutritional qualities and a lot of other things as well with that. 70% of all large fish species have been overfished in the past century. 80% of all corn and 90% of all soybean seeds are now patented by just one company.
And that would be Monsanto, right?
Yes, correct. Correctamundo. So we talk about food security and the quality of the food and what I call, quote unquote, the watering down of our food system and losing the nutrients and the qualities that we have of that. If you've ever, kind of echoing a point that the earlier speakers were speaking about, Eleanor and Mary, if you've ever really tasted a fresh tomato out of the garden or a carrot that you grew, the difference in the flavor is just noticeable, and that is what we want to get back to. We want to go back to growing our own food and not having it controlled by a major food system where it loses all of its wonderful qualities that we want to consume it for.
Now, we have gotten used to getting whatever we want, whatever season we want. Do you think people should change the way we eat? So maybe you eat strawberries when they're in season, you eat peaches when they're in season, etc.
Absolutely. And, Aaron, I do a lot of work with kids, and that's really important if you have a kid in your life or in your family, to introduce them to a really fresh strawberry or really good tomato, because a lot of times they haven't had one that was really flavorful and nutritious. And sticking to a seasonal menu is definitely what you want to do. As a chef, I get all my inspiration by walking through the farmer's market or visiting the community gardens that we have in our area here. And then I design a menu of what's fresh and local. And then I'm providing the best food, the most tasty food that I can for my clients. It really makes my job easier. And then the food tastes better.
I don't think I know what the seasons are for some of these things. I mean, we've gotten so spoiled, like Aaron said, with just finding things year-round, with the way they ship things in now. How do you know what's in season?
Well, there's a lot of information over the web you can get, and you can Google seasonal produce for Southern California. You want to make sure that you search for your region.
Okay.
And there's regions throughout the country that are color-coded based on where they are, located in the U.S. And you can see that in Southern California and, right now and April, May timeframe, I'm going to have really good strawberries that are local and locally grown and flavorful and fresh. And a lot of that information you can get from Google, but there's some of that available on the Slow Food website as well. I keep a seasonal calendar, and maybe I should post that onto Facebook today about what's fresh when. But mainly it's the 4 seasons. In winter you have a lot of lettuces and greens. You don't have those in the summer because of the heat.
Okay.
And then, of course, in the spring we get the berries because they've been through the winter and that kind of thing. So it just makes such a difference to use those. But you can always take a stroll through the farmer's market or through a community garden and see what's coming in. Or what I love to do is to talk to the farmers at the market and say, hey, what's coming in? What do you have next week? Or sometimes I'm planning for caterings right now in November. So, I can talk with them and say, what are you going to have in November? What's going to be great? Are the beets going to be good? Should I design a menu with that? And that, so much inspiration comes from talking to the person that grows your food. And that in itself is just another really powerful relationship.
Now, you mentioned farmers markets. I know you're involved with a couple different ones. Can you tell us about some of the local ones that are around that people could go to?
Yeah, we have 2 in Redlands. There's 2 Saturday markets. One of them is at the downtown Redlands market. We also have the location where the Slow Food event will be, actually, and it's a week from this Sunday, actually. I just looked at the calendar.
Okay.
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, May 30th, at the Grove School Farm, which is 11126 Iowa Street in Redlands. And that's a program that is adjacent to the Montessori School. It's a school educational program and a farm. They have a market, and then there's really successful is the Thursday market night in Redlands, where they have a wider array of produce and food vendors as well. One national website, let me just plug this if I could, localharvest.org. No matter where you are in the country, enter your zip code. It will tell you where there's a local farmer's market or local farms you can buy from directly. And whenever I travel, I was up in Cambria not too long ago, and I entered Cambria zip code, and there was a market that day. And you can find also farms you can buy from directly. And that's a really good resource for no matter where you are. I even entered Alabama. When I was in Alabama a few months back, sure enough, they had farmers markets there and farms I could buy from directly. And Local Harvest will have all that information for you.
And that's important on an economic standpoint because it supports your local economy. And these are farmers who live in your neighborhoods or live in your region, whose kids go to region schools. They shop, that's where they buy their clothes and their groceries and everything else. So, you're supporting the local economy.
Very good point, Aaron. It's so true. And it actually is a really good relationship for the farmer to be able to grow and sell what they grow and supply real food for the local economy and the local community. Yes, very good point.
So this event is happening at the Grove School on May the 3rd, you said?
Sunday, May 3rd. That'd be a week from this Sunday, I believe. And it's at the Grove School Farm. We will have farm tours and a variety of different things. I think I mentioned it's free to attend. If you're on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/slowfoodredlands. And get more information about it. We're getting our website up and running. If you want general information about Slow Food, slowfoodusa.org will tell you all about the slow food lifestyle.
So we only have a couple of minutes left. Tell us about some of this group, some of the volunteering and the work that you do with youth.
Oh, well, that's been wonderful for me. About 5 years ago, I started volunteering, and that's how I met you, Aaron, at the Burridge Mansion, teaching after-school kids programs for cooking, and that's been great for me to do and get involved with. I enjoy working with kids. Kids are inspiring for me, and it's just really been wonderful. But more recently, I've been able to attract some grant-funded programs in the schools where I go into schools in rural areas that are basically food deserts where the kids don't have access to fresh foods. And primarily, I have as young as kindergartners up to 6th grade, teaching them the nutritional qualities of the food. That's the real objective of the grant program, is to educate them about making healthy food choices. And the cooking part, They do a hands-on cooking recipe at the end of every class. What they prepare is something to get them involved in touching it. The sites that do have a garden on site, I will say, that makes a huge difference as well. So if you're looking to get a young one involved in eating fresh food, get them involved in the growing process, just as what Eleanor and Mary were just telling us. That will make a bigger difference as well. If they grow it, they're more invested in eating it, and it just makes a bigger difference in the impact of their food choices.
Sounds like a great way for parents to get involved with their children's school is to put a community garden in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you can get those ingredients into the school cafeteria, which is happening, that's really kind of the Alice Waters model, is to get the food into the cafeteria that they're growing, and even if it's a small amount of it. But that's where, I've seen sites like in Redlands at, I'm drawing a blank
Victoria
now.
Elementary, yeah.
The school becomes almost like a community center. It's amazing the difference it makes when the parents get involved and they come and they put in time in the garden and they take home some vegetables for their family, and it's more than just a school site. It becomes actually a community center that's a real asset for the families around the community.
Well, Lee, it has been absolutely delightful talking to you as always. I'm excited about your event on May 3rd. And the Grove School is fantastic. So I've been on the tour out there. People need to go and check it out. I was actually really impressed with what I saw. And this is a school where these kids are learning to grow these foods as part of their curriculum.
They get their hands in the dirt.
They do. It's a wonderful program. I'm just a little bit jealous I didn't have that as a kid.
I know, right?
You had to probably had to sit in a boring classroom, right?
Yes. Yes, you too would appreciate that, being educators yourself. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lee. Have a wonderful Earth Day.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
A pleasure to be speaking with you. We are right at the end of the show. It is 6:59. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show here on KCAA AM 1050. Have a wonderful Earth Day, everyone.
Could bring a fall when I'm far from home.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Warning Iran, marathon jury, what golden years? I'm Dirk Van. U.S. warships off Yemen, sending a clear message to Iran, not to rearm the Houthi rebels. Correspondent Michelle Kaczynski at the White House.
The international community is resolute in enforcing a new UN resolution barring the transfer of weapons to the Houthis, and the U.S. stands shoulder to shoulder in that goal.
They're calling him America's worst nightmare. The prosecution trying to convince a jury that 21-year-old Dzhokhar Tsarnaev deserves the death penalty for the Boston Marathon bombing. Correspondent Alexandra Field.
They want jurors to feel that pain in whatever way it's possible. They also want to show Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the convicted bomber, as someone who has shown no remorse.
Wall Street stocks edging lower as McDonald's reports another negative quarter. And retirement isn't looking so golden in a new survey that finds many people woefully unprepared financially. Nearly a third of workers say they have less than $1,000 socked away. I'm Dirk Van.
Time. It's best found on the weekends and lost in the garage, under the hood, cranking on something, doing what you love. At AdvanceAutoParts.com, you can get back to the garage even faster when you buy online and pick up in store just 30 minutes later. And right now, save up to $50 by mail when you buy professional quality move, steering, and suspension products. Advance Auto Parts, for guys who love getting under the hood.
Mail-in rebate void where prohibited. See AdvanceAutoParts.com for details.
Oh no, my battery's running out.
Mine too. Guess I've only got about 24 hours of standby talk and text.
What? My phone's gonna eat it any minute now.
It's my new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. I tossed this baby into ultra power save mode and boom, it's got another day of life.
Well, can we plug in someplace?
Fine, but let's not stay long. My phone's fast charging restores 50% power in about 30 minutes, and I've got places to be.
Like where?
Joey just texted us. Didn't you see? Oh, yeah.
Visit Samsung.com/GS6 for more information.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Ron Pritchard. For this morning, we've got a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Cloudy skies turning mostly sunny with a high near 70. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy skies, a low near 53. Thursday, a chance of showers, cloudy skies, becoming mostly sunny with a high near 68. Thursday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, cloudy skies, a low near 54. Friday,